Hey there everyone, it's Miss Sin, and today we are going to be doing a reading from outside, which is really nice because for once I'm actually taking a break from being indoors in front of my computer. So I hope you guys enjoy the sounds of the cicadas, those beetles. Okay, so as I was thinking about what sort of topic to do for pick a card reading for you all today, I felt led to do a reading that is related or pertaining to the topic about how to come out. And yes, if you're thinking it's that kind of coming out, yes, it's that kind of coming out. Okay, I myself have family members who are near and dear to me who are in the LGBTQIA plus community, and I very much want for those of you who are going through it and have not yet had the opportunity to come out and are looking for how, I really do want to have the intention set that this reading for you here today is to give you a little bit of a boost, confidence, and direction on how you can approach things in a way that is comfortable for you and allows for you to feel safe, okay? Most importantly, be safe as well. So let's start, shall we? I don't have any objects for you to pick out because I just wanted to be out here. So I'm gonna let you choose from 3 piles, okay? First pile will be okay, first pile is my phone case. Pile number 1. Pile number 2 is one second. I can't light it for some reason. One second. Pile number 2 is sage stick. Saging you, giving you some good vibes. Pile number 3 is my tea light candle. Okay, so let's go and begin with pile number 1. I don't know whose phone that is. Universe and spirit tribe of mine, I want to ask to gain insight and advice and guidance for those who are in this reading today and have been led to find this reading on how they can have the best and most supportive way to come out to those they love. So we're gonna look for pile number 1, spirit guides, universe, ancestors of mine. For those who chose pile number 1, how shall they come out? Literally the first thing I hear is you need new friends, pile number 1. The reason why you haven't come out and you're afraid to come out is because you have cultivated a whole bunch of frenemies and haters in your life. They're not exactly the healthiest people, and they're somewhat toxic. They don't really hold space for you, nor are they able to hold space for others. And it's not necessarily their fault, as most things aren't our fault because we have been brought up in the upbringing of how to perceive and hold love. So they were raised in a surrounding where they didn't have any love held for them. They didn't have any space held for them as well. But I digress. The point is, Spirit tells you to get new friends. You don't necessarily have to ditch these friends, but they do strongly advise for you to start practicing a level of discernment as to what kind of company you keep and whether these people really have the best intentions for you. Are they people who have the potential to grow with you? Can they communicate to you when they are in a form of distress, or whenever you need support? Are they there to give you moral support? Even as an individual, not anything about your orientation, about what this conversation is about per se, but just, sorry, there was a fly, But in general, are these people able and capable of being there for you? If not, I think before you even think about coming out, think about making a better life for yourself first, okay? Because I do hear from Spirit that coming out is not so much necessarily about stepping into who you really are. Ew, there's a really gross beetle in the sky. Okay, it's not so much about stepping into who you really are, because you already have owned up to that, and the fact that you found this video already is a confirmation that you already have acknowledged who you truly are deep inside. There is a strong call for also knowing, just because you don't tell other people where you stand about how you feel about something does not make you any less of a person, or it makes your feelings, thoughts, and opinions any less real. It just simply means that these people, these people may or may not deserve to be in the know-how about who you are yet, or if at all. So yeah, like I understand that there's a call to come out, but then coming out to people who are not necessarily even worth your time and or opinion is a really large aspect to consider too. Okay, so for pile number 1, definitely get a new set of friends, or surround yourself with better, more loving and supportive people. I just realized those sounds are from one of those hard-shelled bugs that was flying separately by itself. They're really gross by themselves. Alright, so how you can start by practicing a level of discernment about finding new connections or cultivating a healthy environment for yourself is literally spacing away from yourself. And it probably helps during this time that this pandemic, that this social distancing, you can use this to your advantage to literally take the time to disconnect and reconnect within yourself, and to take a long moment of introspection and spending time by yourself and seeing all the ways how your life has not been working for you. The type of relationships, conversations, emotions, thought patterns, affirmations that have been breaking you down, that have been breaking down your morale and your confidence in yourself. And start entertaining the type of opportunities and or lifestyle you've always wanted to explore, the type of connections and the type of, I guess I hear the words entertainment, like maybe you always wanted to do dancing or painting, but you felt that if you expressed that to your loved ones or your friends and families, they would kind of ridicule you because you have to come across as holding a strong appearance of some sort. You can explore this by yourself. You don't need to wait for someone to do this with you, or you can go find a new community that shares the like-minded, interest in this topic and go explore. It literally, I understand it has everything to do with who you are, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it also does not. It's not as, how do I say this? People are more so concerned about who they are and what's going on in their lives than they would be about necessarily judging you, if that makes sense. Like, I understand there's a lot of hate, and I understand there's people that are really messed up in this world. But when it comes to, let's just say art, okay? When it comes to art, you're doing art. You just find a place. Go look for LGBTQIA+ communities that support art or creative dance. Just go there. You don't have to go there and come out necessarily. You could just go there and spend time with these people and be like, oh, a family member of mine is, LGBT community, and I want to understand more about what this is about, and I want to surround myself with more people like that. People are not going to go and interrogate you. Like, you need to, pile number 1, you need to also learn a level of boundary setting too, okay? You only confide what you're wanting to confide, okay? And then in your own due time, when you feel like you've been surrounded with a healthy amount of people in your life who really have an environment where they are accepting, regardless of who you are, that and those are the type of people you will want to come out to, okay? Thank you so much for letting me read for you, pile number 1. If you really enjoyed the reading, be sure to drop a follow and a like. I would deeply appreciate it. And or if you feel like this sort of reading would be really helpful and supportive to anyone that you know that may be going through this, it would be my absolute pleasure if you could share this video with them. Now with that being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 2. Alright, let me shuffle and reset the deck. Pile number 2, you chose the sage stick. So the setting on is really beautiful. Okay, it's getting darker. Okay, so hello pile number 2. So those of you who chosen pile number 2, here is your reading and insight on how you can find and choose the best time to come out, okay? Guys, universe necessary. For pile number 2, what is the advice for how and when they should go about coming out to those they love? I got a little scared because there's a really gross beetle close by me. Okay. This whole entire video is about me saying ew bug, ew bug. Okay, anyways. I am outdoors. Pile number 2. Advice for pile number 2. Alright. Okay, some of you I hear for pile number 2 might be wanting to come out for the reasons of vengeance. I don't know why that would be a case. I mean, there's always thousands of millions of reasons why someone would want to come out, but you should never use that reason to come out. I'm not laughing at you, I'm just laughing at the irony of how that would ever come to be. It's like something very eccentric. Okay, let me think. Or not think, let me tap into the energies. Somebody in your past has come out in a very grandiose way, and this person has always been your frenemy, pile number 2, and they came out with a lot of love and support, and you guys have always kind of been tag team, kind of trying to one-up each other, so to speak, ever since you were really young. And they came out and they wrote to you this wonderful story about how beautiful it was and how loving and supportive everyone was, and then there's this whole photo celebration party of a coming out party, which is amazing for them. And for some reason they're using that form of liberation, their personal liberation, to make it something that you should be feeling bad about, when none of that has any shit to do with you. Like, no offense, like, that's their coming out, that's their landmark in their life, and you, when choosing when you come out, and the landmark of your life is on your regard, not about who comes out best. Like, that's very immature. That's coming out for the wrong intentions, and I don't think that's the right way about stepping into your new life, so to speak, you know? Because a lot of things will change the moment you really represent something. I myself, as an individual, the moment I started standing for something and believing in something, it really did filter away and ward away a lot of people that I thought would otherwise stay in my life. And regardless of whether or not they wanted to, it's beyond my control. But nonetheless, my decisions still made it very obvious for those who wanted to support me or who wanted to leave my life. And the same goes for this reason of you coming out. So for you to come out for the reasons of necessarily wanting to outshine who came out better is definitely coming from the wrong place. Okay, pile number 2. Let's look for more insights. You were thinking, pile number 2, to come out on your birthday. Some of you guys might have like a lot of like social media influence, or you might be public figures with a large following and still be in the closet, and you're hoping in some regard it might help benefit your business, that if you came out you would expose yourself to a larger market. And I mean, yes, that can be the case, but these are shadow reasons we have to ask ourselves why we're doing what we do. You have to be really honest and sincere with your why, because that very reason why you do something is also the same and can very much be the same reason that will be your undoing. So if you started something for a certain intention, you want to make sure this intention is an intention that can take you far. If your example, so if pile number 2, if your intention to start a friendship is because you wanted to avoid being alone, you didn't really care about whether or not you were with this person to begin with, when things fall apart, it fell apart because you were using the other person to avoid loneliness. So if you were to start the friendship with somebody because of your love and admiration for their creativity, and things go kind of funny, it can't go funny because you constantly have an admiration for their creativity. It will sustain. There's a very transparent, honorable, wholesome intention on why the relationship existed in the first place, so it can't help but sustain. You know, it's the energy. You have to be aware of the type of energy they're cultivating with other people around you. Okay, pile number 2. So although you may gain a larger following or more people that would admire you for coming out, you have to think about, yes, in the long term, inevitably you will be cultivating a lot of finances and more popularity and fame, but you have to make sure deep down inside it's not something you're going to regret and feel really guilty about, that you did it for the reasons of gaining more finance and not doing it for you, because this is the one and only time you'll ever be able to do it for yourself. This is a rebirth for yourself, not anyone else. Okay, pile number 2. This is something for you to really think deeply about. Refer back to pile number 1, please, and think about where pile number 1 could be coming from. Okay, think about the gratitude and the long run, why you have been this person you've always been, and how you've come to where you are now. A lot of you who came from pile number 2 came from humble beginnings. So don't get too big for your own head, and don't come out for the wrong reasons, because you can never redo it again. I mean, you can, but it doesn't fix. Some things are irreparable, okay? Irreparable. That was a little bit of a heavier reading, but I do hope that was a really good message to warn you all. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for you. It was an honor. And if you enjoyed this reading or found it really helpful, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And if you would want to share this with a friend or family that you feel is really helpful, I would be more than honored to have you do that. Thank you so much. And with that being said, we're going to go move on to pile number 3, the last pile. Okay? Let me light the incense again. Oh, it's getting really dark, guys, but it's okay. You guys can still hear me. The last pile, everyone. Pile number 3 is the candle. Candle. Okay. Pile number 3, I want to use another deck for you. Not that it matters, because I'm just channeling a message for you guys anyways. I just dropped everything on the floor. Can I lighten it everything? A little bit, okay. Spirit guides, universe, ancestors, align. Can you help give me some insight to those who are coming out for pile number 3? Any insight and guidance, advice for those who are wanting to come out for pile number 3? Pile number 3. Okay, I hear a large keyword, sacrifice, here for pile number 3. sacrifice for your image, your reputation, and your path going down. Perhaps some of you are working or involved with politics or working like with the government, or I don't know, you're working in a place where there's a lot of like 9 to 5 corporations kind of vibe here. Like everyone's very like conservative, so to speak, and you probably have a type of profession that's not as creative and more so like office-like. And for the longest time, to earn respect for those around you, you've kept a certain appearance. And you've gained a lot of respect, but you've been dying inside. Like that's what I hear. Like you've been miserable inside because although your wallet is smiling and your wallet is bursting at the seams with all this finance, you're actually withering away and you feel more and more each day as if you can't be true to who you are. So what I hear from Spirit is that you need to experience this. Allow this emotion to flow through you and to ask yourself whether or not this is something that you believe you can sustain for the next 10 years or if you're at a breaking point. So if abundance and money is what you're looking for, I highly suggest, and I hear from your spirit guides, to start saving now, start setting up money, a cushion, because you've been not necessarily living beyond your means, but you've been like living quite a luxurious lifestyle. I hear pile number 3. Save enough money for a whole year's worth or 2 years worth, and I don't think it'll be hard for you to do that. And start looking and doing your research now about the type of corporations and or companies and jobs and places that have employment in a community and a environment that is very LGBTQIA plus friendly, very supportive, truly supportive, and or maybe even the CEOs themselves are of that community too. And look for things that, okay, here, what is this? The whole thing, like where your desires and who you are, what makes you really happy, aligns with your purpose and what you're really good at. So this is like your skill. You work at an office job and you probably do with tech stuff or very business, like paperwork type stuff, boring stuff a lot of people consider, but they're very stuff that you really love, intellectual stuff. And then you also have who you really are, your true identity. I apologize for this. I don't know where the sound's coming from. Find a company that does this sort of job you're good at and also shares the philosophies of being very inclusive and open, and even the CEOs and owners and coworkers are of the same kind of people as you, from the same mindset, and intersect that. So look for companies that have those integrated and start cultivating a whole list and doing thorough research and reviews and asking around about it. And once you have found a handful of potential places that are good, that can pay you just as much, if not more, and give you room to grow, apply for those jobs. Apply for them. Go and see what you can offer and see how what they have to give to you before you leave your previous company. Drive a good hard bargain. That's what I hear, okay? And that way, once you have freed yourself of your financial circumstance, you don't have to worry about abundance anymore. And then moving forward, you have to literally start listening to your inner voice and who you truly are. And from there on, from pile number 1, which is the best advice, like the most really practical advice, start cultivating and discerning the type of relationships and connections and friendships you have around you, and thinking whether or not you should shed of any old connections and create room for new before you decide to come out fully to your personal life. So for pile number 3, you should start thinking about coming out to the right people in your corporate life, so to speak, like your job, finding a good job that is safe, and then you could come out to that. And then once you start feeling safe and grounded in your financial life, you can start working backwards into your personal life, okay? So thank you so much for letting me read for you. The sun is starting to set. It was an absolute honor. I hope this was helpful and useful for you. Once again, if you had liked this reading, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. And if you felt that this video was really helpful and would love to share it with your friends and families, it would be an absolute honor for me. So until then, I love you all, and I'll see you all later, okay? Bye.